Getting back to vaccines, Doctor, of course, a lot of people that have been in the military, they get inoculated before they go overseas against a variety of things. We all remember having an inoculation record. We couldn't go to school without one. What's changed since all of that? Anything?
So I'm in the oldest city in the United States right now, and this is actually older than the history of vaccines. So about 150 years after St. Augustine was established, the first vaccine study was done, and vaccines in those days were from old folk remedies that came from the Middle East, mostly Turkey. So the first modern clinical trial, and I use the word modern in parentheses, of course, took place in the early 1700s at a facility in London called Newgate Prison. It was the most horrible place on the planet. It was stinky, where the worst of the worst of the criminal class of Great Britain was kept. And they wanted to figure out whether or not this whole concept of vaccines really worked. And one of the princesses was really, really concerned about the smallpox epidemic that was occurring in London at that time. And the Turkish people, the Turkish physicians, felt that they had a way of preventing smallpox by actually injecting people with the smallpox virus in some place other than breathing in the smallpox virus. So this came from the observation that people who survived smallpox never got it again, and people that got it through some sort of route other than breathing it in seemed to do better. So they actually did an experiment at the Newgate prison where they took 7 prisoners and they said, okay, if you participate in this study, you will be relieved from your sentence. So their sentences were commuted. And they found 7 people that said that they were willing to do it. And a surgeon came in who made a big gash in their legs and then actually put smallpox virus in the wound for 7 people. So interestingly, all these 7 people participated. They all had some sort of reaction to the virus that was given in their leg, and they all were released from prison and never had smallpox, followed for a number of years. But there's one little interesting twist to this that I love telling, which is that one of the 7 was a woman who had the surgery done where her leg was gashed and smallpox was put in the wounds, but she didn't have very much of a reaction to the virus that was put in the wounds. And you expect to have like a rash and a reaction with some pustules, but she didn't have that. So they're concerned about that. They brought her back for a second session where they made an even bigger gash in her leg, gave her more smallpox virus, and she had just a little bit of a reaction.
Right.
Well, it turns out that she lied, that she had actually survived smallpox before, and the reason she didn't react to it is because she was immune.
Oh, she wanted to get out of prison.
Right.
That was pretty clever on her part.
It certainly was.
She had to endure some pretty horrible stuff with her leg.
For sure. But it also shows you how the immune system works, is that once you get through the illness, you're immune to it. And that's what I like to tell people, is that when you think about vaccinations and you're concerned, just keep in mind there's only 2 ways to become immune to an infectious disease. Either get the disease or get the vaccine.
There you go.